And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of the Most High God.
That's perfect. Read that again.
Right. Revelation 14:4 again. These are they which were not defiled with women.
What does that mean? Philosophies. Right? So now, see that's right. So now, let me get all of this. I want to test the scripture out. These elect, man, the 104,000 were not defiled with other philosophies. This is Solomon's song, or the Song of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1. I am the rose of Sharon and the lily of the valleys. Right? What's the Most High's favorite flower? The lily. Right? As the lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. What's that talking about? It says, as the lily among thorns. What's the thorns represent? Whoa. The other philosophies, man. This truth is the lily. As the lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. The daughters is what? Again, these other philosophies. As the apple tree, verse 3, as the apple tree among the trees of the wood. Right? So is my beloved among the sons. Again, the apple tree is talking about this tree. And the other trees of the wood is talking about these other philosophies. So is my beloved among the sons. As you know, they always talk about, Adam ate the apple, and then all of a sudden became wise. Well, the apple tree is talking about this wisdom, this knowledge, man. I sat down under his shadow with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. See? We're going into it, man. Right? When he sat down under his shadow, that's what you call it, shadowing somebody. When you start a new job, you shadowing somebody who's more experienced than you, meaning you're watching them and learning from them. Meaning, when you're under the shadow of the Almighty, you're taken on his image. Man. That's what be ye perfect as the Father in heaven is perfect. You're under his shadow. You're taken on this word, man. Right? And his fruit was sweet to my taste. He brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love. Right? Let me read that again. He brought me to the banqueting house. The banqueting house is what? The banqueting house is talking about his church, man. In this church, what we doing? We're eating. What? Knowledge and understanding. Eat my sheep. Right. He brought me to the banqueting house. There's the banqueting house. This church, this gathering. Right? And we're eating. What are we eating? The book, man. Yeah. We're eating the scriptures. Old and new. Both old and new. We're licking all the gravy off the plate, man. There's no part of that plate we're not even unchecked. Yeah. Because if you're not eating all of it, that means there's certain parts of it you don't like.
Yeah, that might offend you.
You're offended at certain points. You gotta eat the whole roll, man. You gotta eat the whole bit. The whole bit. You gotta eat the vegetables. You gotta eat the horseradish. You gotta drink the wine. You gotta drink the wine. You're going to eat in haste too, because we're coming up to the Passover. Right? The Lord's coming. He's coming. You got to stand up on your feet and eat with haste, man, of a quick understanding. You got to eat quick. And that has to be sweet to your taste. All the beer pots. All the beer pots. Certain guys have a problem with the law of grapes, man. For because you know the people might take it down. The R8, man. Some people get offended at that.
You know what?
You gonna eat it, man.
Like in last week's camp, Apostle Tahar said, a lot of people don't understand the scriptures. They don't even understand that through Joseph and Mary, great is what happened. Through Joseph and Mary. A lot of people don't even understand that. Because he took her before the wedding ceremony. So, a lot of people don't even understand that.
Young woman. She was young.
Yeah.
She was still in her father's house. She wasn't an older woman. She was young. She was young. That's why I said she was a virgin. Meaning a young woman of a marriageable age. Man.
You guys just set up or you're leaving? You not just set
No,
up?
we're still here. We're still here. We're still here.
Do you mind if I just chill in for a while?
That's fine, man. Yeah. So, let me read it. The Song of Solomon 2, verse 4. He brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love. Now, when you think of a banner, where do you find a banner? An army. So what's the Lord raising up? He brought his army, man. That goes into Ezekiel 37, where it says that they stood up a great army. Right? And that banner, what's a banner? A rallying point. But now when you go to, right, Isaiah 13, lift ye up the banner upon the high mountain. Right? Hold. You got Revelation 14. Isaiah 13. Yeah? The brother's about to give.
Isaiah 13.
But this is soldiers. The Lord's raising up soldiers, man.
That's right.
Meaning you can't be afraid to stand up for his name, to represent your king. Soldiers fight for their king.
They fight for their kingdom. They fight for their people.
Yeah, for the people, for the nation.
And there's nothing new under the sun still up there. All the times when we had to fight against the Philistines or against the Greeks, it's the same men coming back again. They said this time we're coming back and we're doing it with the spirit, rather than actually taking up shield and buckler and going to harder war by any means.
Because when you read it deeply, man, all great men of war were spiritual.
That's right.
They all believed, they all gave homage to a high heaven. When you think of real men of war, they all were spiritual. They believed in the Most High. Whatever their God was, they believed in a higher power. That's what gave them courage. And a lot of the time they were called upon their God for courage, for victory, for these things, man. So it all starts with the spirit. Even David said what? The Lord taught him how to taught his fingers to fight. So even David was a spiritual man. It all starts with the spirit is first and foremost. The Most High is first and foremost.
Whenever we go to war, we were supposed to consult the Most High rather than just going out.
Right.
You know, we'd ask the prophets, will we prevail if we go up against them or not? And there's certain times when the Most High said, yeah, go up, but the men were too cowardly. So the Most High will punish them for that too. Hey, shalom.
Yeah, so wait,
Shalom.
This is how much I trust that things are going to work out.
Yes, so as you said, it all starts with the Lord. Shall I read on?
go on.
Isaiah 13 and verse 1.
Right.
Again, we got this word burden. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift up a banner upon the high mountain.
Say that again. Read it again.
But Isaiah 13:1 again. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain.
Lift what up again?
Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain.
Right. Well, come on now, read the rest of it.
Exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles.
Right, so I'm gonna look up that word banner. In Isaiah 13. Right. Oh, no, first and foremost, the brother came. Ahab. Right. The beloved brother Ahab himself. The renowned man. Right, hold on. Right, so Isaiah 13 verse 2. Lift ye up a banner, right? Upon the high mountain. We look at the word banner, it means something lifted up. A standard, a signal, a sign, or a sail. Like you have like a pirate ship. You've got they set up their little flags on the, you see pirates in the Caribbean.
Yeah, they got
the sail, they call it sails.
the skull and crossbones.
Yeah. And it's a standard as rallying point. A signal or a standard or like a pole. Yeah? And it said, something lifted up, a token to be seen far off. So who was scattered afar off? The Israelites. So who was meant to be an ensign to the people? Yahawashi. He was meant to be that sign, that ensign. What's that really think of? Isaiah 11 and 11. An ensign to the people. Go on, bring it.
And it shall come to Isaiah 11 and 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again, the second time, to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, from Egypt.
No, start with it.
Alright, yeah. Isaiah 11 and 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people.
See, read that again. See? So the root of Jesse. A root means the seed of Jesse.
From David's father.
Because David's father was Jesse. Because David was the seventh son of Jesse. He was actually the most looked down upon. He was the keeper of the sheep. Right? But yeah, that was the man that Samuel came and anointed and said, listen, one of your sons is going to be the man that's going to be anointed to rule over all Israel, all the Israelites. But you know, Jesse was like, he was choosing all these other sons. David was the last that he would have suspected. But yeah, Samuel said, no, you got none of these ones, man. Because Jesse chose this one, all six of his other ones. But then, no, there's another one. He's not none of these ones. And then Jesse said, there's one that goes and takes care of the sheep.
One that have not been thought of will wear the crown.
But that's us. But that's us. That's us, man. We're one that's never thought. Who would ever think that niggas would rule the world? Even when you see what's happening over there in Africa right now, you got, our people in Africa burning down the United States embassies, burning down the French embassies. So Jake is revolting, man. So these other European, the EU, the other nations of the world, they never thought that Jake could actually rise up and wake up out of that dead estate. Well, let's go technically dead because they don't recognize themselves as being Israelites. But the fact that they're rebelling, they're uproaring. And it's like, you just realized that they're robbing you of your resources? You just realized?
That they was in a dead state, man.
It's like you didn't realize that the French was robbing you of your own shit, man. Now you're realizing it. Showing you that Jake is we're very docile. We're very docile.
Like sheep.
We're like sheep. We're sheep. I forgot my talking.
I'll read it again. Isaiah 13 and no, I was reading Isaiah 11.
The Ensign, yeah.
Isaiah 11 and 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse.
That's it. One that was never formed. Coming out.
Which shall stand for an ensign of the people, and to it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious.
That's me. That's me. He shall be an ensign, meaning what? A standard, a banner of the people. Meaning what? That he will be the rallying point.
That's the name we come under.
That's what they're saying. They shall be gathered from the east to the west.
Yep.
By the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the highness. That's from Baruch, man. Now let me get it. This is the prophet Baruch, because Baruch was he was a scribe of Jeremiah. When you go into the account of Jeremiah, Baruch 4, verse 36, we talked about 36.37. O Jerusalem, look about thee towards the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glories of the Most High. See, this gathering was unto the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Lokakadash, man. Right? That's the rallying point, that's the banner.
That's right.
See, the Lord is raising up his tabernacle. The tabernacle of Malach Dawadah, King David. Right? As in the days of old. So we was back there in the of old, man.
That's right.
Right? So Yahweh shines that banner. So when you go back to Isaiah, when it says wait. As you're reading, it says read them.
Which one? Isaiah 11.
11.
But Isaiah 11 again and 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people,
Right.
and to it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious.
Who are the Gentiles?
Israelite foreigners.
Israelite foreigners. But now, as it stands to this day, right now, we've all become Gentiles. We're all born and raised up to think that we're everything other than being Israelites. We're black, we're this, we're that. We're Egyptians. We're Nigerians, we're Ghanaians. We're so alienated from who we once was. It's like when it's been told us of who we are, it's like we can't imagine it. So it's like a fight, it's like a battle. We gotta fight our people to even remind them who they are. Right? So that shows you that we're in the last captivity. Because all other captivities, we knew who we were, man.
Yeah.
But no, but that's Hosea 1 and 10. It said in the land where you are not my people, there shall be said that you are the sons of God, man. Right? So that's not, the Lord had to take it all away. He gave it to us, but he took it away. He took it all away. Our whole heritage, man. Everything that was us. We became a no people. The Lord literally turned his back and said, see, that shows you that when a woman, when you have a woman, she goes and sleeps with another man, you ain't got no love for that woman anymore. She's dead to you. She's dead. She's just a hoe to you. She's not your wife no more. She's just some harlot. That's what the Lord did to us, man. Some brothers, we experienced that, man. So we know how the Lord feels. You have a woman that you once loved, and she does that. And it's like, you ain't shit to me, man. Right? So now, the Lord is now gathering us back together now. Coming up.
Isaiah 11:11. And it shall come to pass that in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people.
See, that's why I'm not the Lord love his people. What was the first time when the Lord recovered his people? That was Egypt. That's when we sung that song about the Lord delivered us from Egypt and the house of bondage. Right? And when we have the Passover, that's in remembrance of how we came out of Egypt. And we read out of what the Old Testament, and we read out of what Exodus, of how we had to put the blood of the lamb in the doorpost, man. And then the men had to eat in haste. And the Lord brought all the plagues upon Egypt, upon the Egyptians there. The Hamites, people.
Slay their firstborn.
And slay the firstborn in them. I remember who are the Egyptians today? The descendants of the Egyptians today. The people in South Sudan. The South Sudanese. The tall motherfuckers, man. The lanky motherfuckers. Right? Them. The Lord delivered us from them. But look at them now. They're not so great now.
They were once ruling shit.
Right? Exactly. But what is going to be a new song? The Lord delivered, that's the greatest. See, people still remember what happened to us in Egypt to this day, thousands of years later. And that was just from one country in North Africa today. But now, we're going to be delivered from all countries. That's going to be something that's going to be remembered for all generations, man. That's going to be something that's going to be sung among all nations. We're going to deliver from all countries, not just from one country, but from them all. And then we conquered the earth. They're going to fear us, man. They're going to fear us. The greatest story that was ever told, man. The story of Jacob. Coming up.
I was just going to add a point because it's been said that in every culture in the world there's a story of a great flood, right? So the flood that took over the earth in the times of Noah, every culture has a story somehow it goes back to a great flood. So this great second Exodus is going to be worldwide, so every nation is going to have their own little sort of own, and the Lord delivered the Israelites from this part of the world or that part of the world. It's going to be known all over, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's going to be televised as well. When Yahawashi comes and invades this earth, every eye shall see him, man.
Yeah. This is going to be, that's what I'm saying, it's going to be, remember, like, this when we enslave all nations, man, this is going to be the greatest enslavement that's ever been recorded. people remember the transatlantic slave trade and the trans-Saharan slave trade and other minor slaveries that happened. We're talking about the enslavement of all nations together
Yeah.
at once.
All
They were
17.
all enslaved upon the immortal beings. That's something that's going to be told throughout forever. It's going to be drawn on the wall, the hieroglyphics
Yeah.
on the walls.
Yeah.
See, they got hieroglyphics of the Egyptians enslaving the Hebrews to this day. We got it in books to this day. So they're going to have this forever. They're going to have it drawn on the walls.
Yeah.
Spoken of at the little campfires, man.
Yeah.
The little wise men, little chief rulers, child rulers speaking to their children. It's going to be spoken throughout the ages. They were once mortals. Now you see them flying in the sky.
They once walked among us.
Sometimes they're here, but we don't see them.
Yeah.
You know that? You know? Yeah. It's gonna be crazy, man.
That's right, and the scripture says, you know,
How do you again?
is this the man?
Yeah.
Is this the man?
Yeah. That made more made more than fear of the son of man. That's referring to Esau. That's referring to Esau, man. Because we don't have Esau as slaves.
Yeah.
So all the nations, they're going to look at him like, is he the man? That was ruled over nations.
Maybe we'll do what we did to us and put him in this. And have people pay tickets to come and look at Edomite. Oh, that's the Edomite man there.
Where are we at now?
Revelation 11 and 10.
Yeah, read on.
And it shall come, 11 and 11, not Revelation, Slakia, Isaiah 11 and 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt.
So where is modern day Assyria? That's Kurdistan. That's there, right? But look up, someone look up, modern day Assyria. Because the elders be getting into that this recently, man. Certain of like shitting. Where's shitting? That's Cyprus, man. That was where what's his name? Alexander's father.
Yeah.
And he was from Macedonia, but he took it mentioned shitting in our first Maccabees. Shittim is near it's basically Cyprus, man. Yeah. So Assyria is basically part of today's northern Iraq, southeastern Turkey. Right. Yeah, northwestern Iran. Syria. But that's nuts because
I thought Babylon was Iraq.
I thought that the Persia became Iran. Babylon is Iraq.
Yeah. Maybe it's not correct.
Syria. Yeah, because remember, I believe the elders is actually saying that the Babylonians is actually like the Assyrians, man. They're going into them. So this is Iraq, that whole region, Syria.